Jai Hind and good morning. I am Brigadier Vidyasagar, served in the Army for 32 years in Corps of Engineers and Bombay Service. I retired in 2004 March. Since the last 17 years, I have been living in Secunderabad. I am a member of an ex-servicemen association by name Tri-Services Ex-Servicemen Welfare Association, in short TSEWA. Now TSEWA has basically three objectives. One is to organize awareness programs all over India when we are invited, basically to educate our ex-servicemen about their entitlements. In those awareness programs, we realized 80% of our pensioners do not get their correct pension from the banks. Second activity is legal cases. When ex-serviceman finds he has a grievance and none is redressing, the only option is go to the courts of law. An individual cannot go to a court of law because it is going to be very costly and time consuming. So he comes to TSEWA, we file his cases and get him his grievance redressed. Third activity we do, of which I am very proud, in the last 6 years, we have been carrying charitable activities. Our members donate and we collected and dispersed 38 lakh rupees to our ex-servicemen, widows of ex-servicemen, even orphans of the ex-servicemen who cannot afford to pay college or school fees. This is the kind of service TSEWA is doing. Now we have, as of today, about 14,500 members all over India and also in 8 foreign countries. Many of the members of TSEWA and also non-members many a time approach us, and the present request is that they are not very clear about a new pension dispersal system known as SPARSH. Next. Now I'll explain to you in this video, it may take some time. Whatever little information I could gather, I'll give you so that you understand what SPARSH is. Now SPARSH is nothing but an acronym for a system or pension administration for Rakshaks. Next. System for pension administration for Raksha. Raksha means basically armed forces. It is nothing but a centralized pension dispersal system. Now let us understand the existing system, then we will understand. As on today, we have 3 pension sanctioning authorities. That is, one for the Army at Allahabad, one for the Navy at Mumbai, one for the Air Force at Delhi. These are the 3 pension sanctioning authorities. They generate the PPO, send a copy to the service headquarters, send a copy to the pensioner, send a copy to the CPPC of the bank. Then the pensioner starts getting pension. As on today, pension is disbursed by 28 public sector banks and 4 private sector banks like HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank. There are 63 DPDOs. Most of them are in North India, few are in South India. In the good old times when banks were not there, the pensioners used to get their pension from treasuries, but now it is almost extinct. Then 500 post offices are also dispersing pension, but nowadays most of the pensioners are drawing pension from the banks. And finally, the pensioner gets his pension at the end of the month. Now, we have to understand what are the good points about the existing system, what are the not so good points about the existing system. First is, a pensioner goes to the bank, then he gets his pension. Banks also give you a pension slip, banks also give you a Jeevan Praman, banks also give you pension loan. Now, TSEWA during its awareness programs, we found banks are not dispersing the pension correctly to the pensioner, and almost 80% of them are not getting their correct pension. bank staff are not aware of the rules. I don't blame them. The reason is very simple. The defense pensions are very complex in nature. It's not one pension, so the bank staff know how to give pension. Local bank staff seldom forward grievance of the pensioner to CPPC. The RBI has directed that pensioner should have only single point contact. He has got an account in the bank, he should go to the bank, say this is my problem, and the bank staff are supposed to send it to the CPPC, which they don't send. The stock answer they give you is, it will take a lot of time if you send, you better go to the CPPC yourself. Now just imagine a village in a remote area, a widow has to walk maybe about 1 hour, 2 hours to come to the nearest bus stop. Then she has to get into a bus. Then she has to go to the state capital, because CPPCs are all located in the state capitals. This I mentioned. When the husband passes away, if there is a joint account, the banks are supposed to give the pension from the next date of the death of the pensioner. Many a time we get the complaints that the widows are not getting their pension. Some banks do not remit dearness relief, which is sanctioned by the government once in 6 months. And at times bank pay not their only entitled pension, they pay more. Then what happens? Banks have got 2 audit systems. One is the bank itself has an audit section. They come and audit the dispersal. If they find that a particular pension has been paid more, then they tell the bank to recover that excess. Now the recovery is at the rate of 1/3. For example, Lieutenant Colonel draws a pension of say 90,000 rupees, and he has been overpaid pension for about a year, and that overpayment is, let's say, 1 lakh rupees. They will deduct his pension by 1/3. From 90,000, his pension drops to 60,000 till that 1 lakh rupees is recovered. That is the problem. To reduce the transaction between the CPPs and the PCDA pension Allahabad, because army pensioners are maximum. So SBI and PNB have established their own offices in the PCDA pension Allahabad complex, so that any grievance which is there can be resolved faster. This is one good thing about the present system. Next. Now I will give you 2 cases where banks are not giving the widow her family pension. This is a case of a CPO, that is Chief Petty Officer in the Navy, equivalent to Naib Sultan Saab. His name is Surendra Singh Nooni. Now, the daughter of Surendra Singh Nooni sent a mail to the TSEWA telling that my mother is not getting her family pension since last 1 year. I really do not know how this lady is surviving. She has got a son and a daughter. Son is elder and daughter is younger. Now we got the PPO from them. The name of this gentleman is Surendra Singh Nooni. Whereas in the PPO, her name, the widow's name is Shakuntala Nooni. Now here is NOONI, here is NUNI. Both are same as far as you and I are concerned. But bank doesn't take like that. They say no, this Nooni and this Nooni are entirely different, so they are not giving her pension. We don't know the reason. We told the son to go to CPPC at Jaipur because he is from Rajasthan. Now, as if this is not enough, the problem is compounded by a death certificate. The name of the death certificate is Surendra Singh. Now the bank has got 2 reasons to deny the pension to this lady, saying if this surname is not the same, then his name is Surendra Singh. How do we know that this Surendra Singh Nooni has passed away? How can we give a family pension? This is how the banks do trouble the widows, unfortunately. Next. The another mistake, which even the pensioners do, I don't know, he's a nice Sundar. I always felt naval and air force pensioners are more educated. That's what we found in our awareness programs. But the CPO, he doesn't appear to have a joint bank account with his wife when he was alive. when he was a pensioner. Now what happened? The bank staff told, okay, you don't have a joint account, so you open another account. Now she has one account, the husband had one account. Widow is not getting pension for the last 1 year, and she hails from Junjunu district of Rajasthan. So we are trying to resolve this problem, but I am telling you, these are the problems which the widows face from the present system. Next. Now you see, the bank people do not know the rule position about the pension division. The rule position is very simple. Ordinary family pension, that means a soldier has died while in service without any attributable to military service or aggravated military service. It is a normal, he got a heart attack and he passed away. So his wife will get only ordinary family pension. The government felt a widow drawing ordinary family pension is so small and she has 2 children. So that pension cannot be divided between the widow and her in-laws. Even if the in-laws are dependent upon the son for living, the rule position for ordinary family pension is the widow has to look after children. That is primary responsibility. So that pension cannot be divided between the wife and the parents. Now then, when can the pension be divided? The pension can be divided if it is a special family pension or a liberalized family pension. Now in this case, this gentleman passed away. He is from Air Force. In 1998, mother has been given 50% of the pension of this Air Force veteran. And imagine, this Air Force veteran's father is a retired army person in the rank of an honorary captain. So, the mother is already living with the old husband who is drawing army's honorary captain's pension. And even when you want to share the pension of the son whose widow has been given a special or liberalized family pension, the condition is the earnings of this parents should not be more than 9,000 rupees plus dearness relief. When this mother of the veteran who passed away is living with her husband who is an honorary captain, he is drawing pension. How can the pension be divided? This is the problem with the BRO. Some guy is sent to go and investigate, and that mother will tell some sob story. देखो मैं लुट गई, मेरा बेटा मर गया, मैं कैसे खाऊं? All put it shoot. And he said, okay, 50% to be given. So now this case has come to TSEWA. Now we are telling the son, beta, there is no other alternative but to file a case in the AFT. He filed a case. Let us see the progress. So these are the problems when you don't know the rule position about the pension division. Next. This is what I just explained to you. In this case, the Air Force widow is entitled for 100% of the pension. Even if it is a liberalized family pension, even if it is a special family pension. The pension cannot be divided in this case because the mother of the veteran is not in penury. Her husband is drawing much higher pension. The present system, the shortcoming is, the moment a PSA, PCD Pension Allahabad for the army, gives the PPO, they wash off their hands. You go to the PCD Pension Allahabad with any problem, sir, I am not getting correct pension. He says, please don't come to us. This is a problem between you and your CPPC. Go to the CPPC. PCD pension doesn't help. The CPPC doesn't help. Where does the pensioner go? So this is the problem with the present system. Local branch tells pensioners to go to CPPC, which I told you. CPPC doesn't solve the problem, or if it solves, it will solve after 1 or 2 years. Then for this 1 or 2 years, the pensioner has to suffer. Next. This I mentioned. Many a time, even in the CPPCs, the bank staff are not clued up about the defense pensions. For them, it is an appointment. He is there for 2.5 to 3 years. After that, he will go away. Whatever little he learnt about the defense pensions, which are very complex as I mentioned, he goes away and a new guy comes and the story is repeated. As I mentioned, there are defense pensions are varied. I will explain to you what are the type of defense pensions, and there are rules for every type of defense pension, which I explained to you about the pension division, how pension division can be done under certain circumstances. Now, I do understand the present system has got certain shortcomings. These shortcomings are to be overcome. The CGDA himself realized that there is a requirement for a new system. So that's why they came out with a concept known as SPARSH. They sent a paper about centralized pension dispersal system 2 to 3 years back. Most of us who are dealing with the pensions have given our views. This paper was titled Centralized Pension Dispersing System, CPDS, to the ministry. Now, what they say, 30 lakh pensioners as on today, they get a pension and the burden to the government is about 1 lakh crores per annum. Every year, 80,000 pensioners retire. 90% of the pensioners draw their pension from the banks. Now, different banks have got different interpretation of the government rule. 95% of the complaints received by the banks, received from the pensioners, pertain to banks only. Because I said that most of the pensioners now draw their pension from the banks. When the CPPs of the banks cannot resolve the grievance, then only this Defense Accounts Department, that is your naval PCDA, Navy Mumbai, PCDA, Army pension, or the Joint CDA, Air Force, they resolve, but they feel it is a very, very difficult process to resolve this grievance. So they felt one agency only should handle, not 32 banks, not 63 DPDOs, not 500 post offices. Let one agency handle. Next. Banks do not give to this PCDAs the details of the number of pensioners and the category wise. Now, what is a category of pensioners? Either you have a healthy pensioners like I am a normal pensioner. There are disabled pensioners. There are war injured pensioners. There are invalidated pensioners. There are liberalized disability pensioner. See the complexity of the defense pension. Now you take widows. There are ordinary family pensioner, special family pensioner, or liberalized family pensioner. Now, if both the husband and wife pass away, the children are still young, who will look after them? So the government made a provision. If it is a girl, till she gets married, she will get the pension. If there is a boy, if he is the eldest, that boy can get pension till he reaches the age of 25. So this is known as a dependent pension. So the rule is different. Next. Always you find, in some cases, there is a dispute between the widow and the in-laws. TSEWA receives so many complaints that when our son was living, he used to look after us while he was in service. After he retired, he used to look after us. Now he passed away. Now my widow is drawing entire pension. Now we are Bukhananga. So this is the problem. So whenever the dispute comes, the BRO is supposed to go and inquire. As I mentioned, ordinary family pension cannot be divided under any circumstances. If the parents are dependent on the son and unfortunately son passes away, there is no way the parents can get even 1 paisa after the pension, because the government feels the responsibility of that soldier is to his wife and children first. Then parents come. So the parents don't get, and they come to us and we do provide them some financial assistance for some time. Categorization of pensioners, that is, I mentioned, no? disabled soldier, war injured soldier, or ordinary family pensioner, liberalized family pensioner. These are known as a category of pensioners. The amount of pension naturally is different. Ordinary family pensioner gets, let's say, 12,000. The special family pensioner will get maybe 20,000. The liberalized family pensioner gets the highest amount, maybe 30,000 for a SEPI. So these amounts are different. Government pension liability is not known because unless the banks give every month how much pension they have disbursed, it is not possible for the PCDA pension Allahabad to tell the MOD, look, this month we have disbursed this much of pension. And at the end of the month, a year, the government must know how much pension has been disbursed. Collating information from all these pension disbursing agencies, banks, post offices, DPDOs and treasuries, it's very difficult. Output given by the banks and other PDS is not accurate. Sometimes they give some figure. The need, therefore, was felt to change the present system. Now, what is the new system? Let us understand the new system. There is no change to the pension sanctioning authority. The PCDA pension Allahabad or no Prayagraj, they will generate PPOs for armed forces, army pensioners and defense civilian pensioners. There is no change to that. Similarly, PCDA Navy Mumbai will generate PPOs for the naval pensioners and Joint CDA Air Force New Delhi will generate PPOs for the Air Force pensioners. So as far as the generation of PPO is concerned, there is no difference between the old system and the new system. Now money has to be sent. Now in the case of the army officers, I am sure it must be same with the Navy and Air Force. The PCDAO Pune sends in bulk the pension to different banks wherever the army officer has opened an account. So this existing system of the officers dispersal is being now thought of for all the pensioners, 30 lakh pensioners in the country. So there is one agency, earlier PCDA Pune used to do it, maybe PCDA Navy may be doing for naval officers and the Joint CDA Air Force may be doing for the serving Air Force officers. So the same job is going to be done by the CPDA, one agency, and that agency is nothing but PCDA Pension Allahabad. So they will do the pension dispersal of all the pensioners of Army, Navy, Air Force. There is no change, you don't have to change your bank account. Your bank account remains same. The money, instead of coming from PCDA Pension Allahabad, now it will come from the CPDA. For the Army personnel, it is the PCDA Pension Allahabad. So as far as the Army is concerned, there is no again change. Only thing is, bank will not give you pension on its own. They can't work out, they can't calculate because that is gone. They will not give you pension slip. They will not give you Jivan Praman. All those facilities which you used to get in the existing system is no more valid. Now everything has to be done by the CPDA. Banks used to get for 12 months remittance of pension and 4 months for DR. That is 16 times they used to get 60 rupees per pensioner, 960. That 960 rupees will not be given to the bank. Where there is no bank going to give you service, they will just give you pension. The moment they get the pension into your account, you will get the pension. So why should bank get this 960 rupees per annum per pensioner? As I mentioned, there is no difference in generation of the PPOs. It will continue to be done by the PSAs. Next. The CGDA mentioned when they suggested to the Ministry of Defence about the central pension dispersal system, the advantages are what? Are benefits what the pensioner will get. One is it is a single point contact, understood. Saving of 180 crores, 960 rupees per pensioner multiplied by the number of pensioners. It came at that point of time when they sent the paper about 2-3 years. It would be now more, maybe about 200 crores. Immediate booking of the pension because one guy is giving pension, so he knows to whom all he gave, how much he gave. Exact number of pensioners also he knows. How many healthy ex-servicemen, how many disabled, how many war injured, how many invalid, how many ordinary family pensioners, how many liberalized, how many special, how many dependent. All these things are known to one agency. Exact number of pensioners therefore is known. Uniform implementation of government order. Now there is only one agency. Now in the existing system, the government letter comes, PCD pension Allahabad makes a circular, different banks interpret that government letter in their own way. So they feel, CGDA feels it is much better to have one point contact. They will give better services to the pensioner. We will see. Really, is it so? Easier grievance redressal by centralized call center facility. I have my own doubt about call center. Reason I will tell you here itself. Call center is what? Between you as a grievance having a person, someone who is sitting in the call center in PCD Pension Allahabad or wherever it is, the communication has to be established. How is the communication established? Either by telephone or by email. Now for email, the problem is you have to have Wi-Fi. If you have 10 Mbps Wi-Fi, your communication will never go through. Second, the call center must have enough server capacity. I have seen many a time you go to CSD for booking a car, the CSD headquarters in Mumbai server is so slow, your data can never reach. It happened with me for 2 days. My fellow was trying to upload my information, it never reached. So the server has to be of very high capacity. So I have a doubt about this, the call center resolving all your grievances. It may not happen. The CGDA says, look, the present system, PCD Pension Allahabad for army and civilian defense personnel or navy or air force, they don't consult any pensioner, they just issue a PPO. The name of the wife may be different, the pensioner's name may be different, his service number may be different, his date of birth may be different. There could be some mistakes. After all, people are sitting in this PCD are only normal civilians. So they may make a mistake. Now they say, before we generate a PPO, we will tell the pensioner, this is going to be your PPO. Please tell us now whether you have any objection. Is your name correct? Wife's name correct? You got joint account correct? Your account number is correct? Your bank is correct? All these things which are very much required. Today, the biggest problem TSEWA gets is from pensioners about change of name of wife. Sir, my wife's name is Sunita Devi, but in the PPO it is only Sunita. My bank chap says, if I die tomorrow, my wife will not get because her name is not Sunita Devi. The Devi is missing. The second complaint TSEWA gets, date of birth of wife. Earlier it is only year of birth. Now we keep on writing to record office, we keep on writing to PCD pension, our wife's date of birth is not put. So these are the problems in the existing system. Suppose if this facility of a pensioner coming to know how his pension is going to be, PPO is going to be, he will be able to suggest, sir, isme ye galti hai, usme wo galti hai. And I am telling you in English language, let me tell you, you take North Indian, you call Lata, her name is Lata Pandey. L-A-T-A. In South, they add L-A-T-H-A. Now, if your clerk in the battalion is a North Indian, then you say, yeah, my wife's name is Lata Devi, or Lata Sharma, Lata Pandey. He will put as L-A-T-A. Now, in the PPO, her name is L-A-T-A, whereas all other documents, it is L-A-T-H-A. Now, somebody, nasty fellow in the bank will say, sorry, this Lata and this Lata entirely different. The PPO says L-A-T-A. Whereas you are saying my name is L-A-T-H-A. This H is extra. So sorry, we can't give you. That is the problem in the present system. He can give nomination for pension. If I die, naturally wife will get. After she dies, my son will get or daughter will get, whatever it is. He can ask for commutation. Instead of the pension documents, here By any chance, at that point of time, he decided, no, I will not go for commutation. So that means you will not get commutation. But now in the present system, you decided maybe 3 months back that you don't need commutation, but somebody advised you better take commutation. It is a loan with a low interest. Then he decides, oh, I must have commutation. In the present system, it is not possible. Now he can ask for a commutation. Again, you find many a time the mobile number, email address, bank details like account number, they are not same in the PPO and actually. Then there is a problem. He can raise a request, sir, please change my name from so-and-so to so-and-so, or raise an amendment of names, especially of the wife or children. But you have to submit documents to prove that your wife's name is this to MP5B for officers. For Jawans, it will be record office. Next. The SPARSH says whatever bank is giving you, will give you. Why do you worry? You get a pension slip from us. You get a digitized life certificate which your bank is giving. We will give you. You are going to bank to submit your income tax return. We will do it for you. Any problem, we will solve. Any anomaly is there, we will reply. Very nice to hear these things, but actually will it be done? That's what we have to see. So all these requests of a pensioner, firstly for the officers it has to go to MP5, for the Jawans it has to go to the record office. That means record offices will be flooded with such kind of a requests. Then the record office will send for the Jawans to the respective PSCs. In the case of army officers, it will be sent to MP5. They check their own records. If your wife's name is correctly mentioned there in the MP5 record, they will accept. If your wife's name is changed, instead of Rekha Hemamalini, sorry, this change will not be accepted. If found correct, if your document is found to be correct, that means it tallies with the document held by the Aegis branch, then only they will tell the PCDA Pension Allahabad to amend the PPO. Next. When a person or a pensioner is migrated from the existing system to the SPARSH, he will be given a user name and password which he must store it. If you change your mobile, then you will have a problem. So they say this is for a digitized life certificate method 1. There are 2-3 methods are there which I will explain to you. Click on identification tab on the menu on the left hand side. Click on perform identification button. You have to click that button. Then there is a small circle against Aadhaar. Click on that. Then the pension process, on-screen process starts. Then you keep on doing whatever the computer tells you. How many widows can do this? Life certificate by manual method. This is known as a method 2. Again, you have to log into SPARSH. Click on a small circle against MLC. There is a provision for MLC, provision for digitized life certificate, DLC. So you go to MLC, you click initiate request. Certificate will be generated. Save or take a printout. Then you have to run after a gazette officer whom you know. That is basically jail loss and welfare officer or one of the army officers who is serving. You will take his signature. If this is all been generated by SPARSH, why do you need to run to the gazette officer? I don't know. Upload the same in the SPARSH. So after taking the signature of the gazette officer, put it in a scanner and then upload. How many widows have a scanner? Many of them don't have mobile phone. So you can do it from your laptop, computer, mobile. All nice to hear, but very difficult to implement. If you can't do all these things, like many of the widows will not be able to, what they say, you go to a nearby common service center. In Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, we have something known as EX-SERVICEMEN. In some states there may be e-Mitra. So there are 4 lakh such common service centers. So you go and get your Jeevan Praman there, like we are doing already. Then why is SPARSH? Itna complicate kyun karte ho? What is happening in the present system? You have biometric device. You put your finger and photo will come. Khatam. इतना आप ये करो वो करो इधर प्रेस करो उधर जाओ ये करो गजट ऑफिसर के पास जाओ. These are all bureaucratic things which will never work on ground. If you go to e-Mitra or e-SEWA and they generate Jeevan Praman, then they say you have to go to SPARSH. You must write there SPARSH PCDA P Paragraph as their PDA. कौन करेगा यार सब चीजें? I don't know why they complicate simple things. Next, there are 982 service centers, mostly by the Defense Accounts Department. That means a widow has to know search. So then they say, oh, you want to search? Very simple. Go to again SPARSH. Then you click this. Then lo and behold, the service center will come. Go there. What is the problem? By sitting in Delhi, it is no problem for you. Sitting in some remote village for a widow is a big problem. How will she find out all these things? We do get in TSEWA widows coming saying कि साहब my husband is missing. वो छुट्टी से आया था, वापस तो यूनिट गया नहीं है. यूनिट वाला बोलते हैं भाई आदमी गायब हो गया. So it is a very common thing. Not very common, but some cases we find the person is missing. After 7 years, presumed dead, and the widow will get pension. But it is very difficult. For 7 years, this lady will not get any pension. Where will she go? So for such people, death. If today, as I mentioned, these 2 cases, widow doesn't get pension for some reason or other. So in such cases, wherever death or missing information, the NOK is supposed to take this action. Again, go to the website. This is the website of SPARSH. SPARSH.defensepension.gov.in. This is the website of SPARSH. Click on services. Click on family. Click whatever is the event. Is the event death or event missing? You do that. Then you go to this page. Missing hai to missing, death hai to death. Some people get committed a crime, then they are put in jail. So conviction ho jata hai. For such people, even if a person is convicted by civil court, his widow has to get pension. After all, how will she live? So then you initiate a family pension case for this missing, dead or convicted cases. Next. So for the officers, the information goes to MP5B. For the Jawans, it has to go to record office, including JSOs who are honorary officers also, it has to go to record office. If you are an officer, you approach these people through WhatsApp. These are the numbers given. Or you visit the SPARSH, which I mentioned to you. This is the email ID. And they say, please go through our SPARSH website and familiarize yourself with the FAQ. That is frequently asked questions. Next. What is going to happen? Future retirees, those who are now in 2022, suppose some gentleman retires in December 2022, what will happen? He must know. Firstly, digitized audited pension claim for officers, it will be made by their PCA. That is PCDA Pension Allahabad or PCDA Navy Mumbai or Joint CDA Air Force. They will make a draft PPO. Record offices will do for the JSOs who are. Pensioner is allotted a unique number. PCDA Pension Allahabad will deal with all the 3 service pensioners. CPDA. Next. Pensioner informed by SMS email, भैया ये आपका PPO होने वाला है. Draft pension document is also shown to the pensioner before it is finally made. This process is called a pensioner data verification. pensioner data verification to enable the pensioner to find if there are any mistakes. This is a good thing. There is no doubt about it. Next. Pensioner can also give, as I mentioned to you earlier, he can give nomination after my wife dies, my son or my daughter who will get any lifetime arrears, not pension, lifetime arrears. If anything is due to me, I have gone, my widow also, my wife also has gone, then who is there? My son is there. So, usko de do, yeah, my daughter, usko de do. SPARSH Seva Kendras, these are all going to be manned by the DPDO staff. So, if you have a problem, you see, for people like us who are living in metros or cities, DPDOs are there. In Hyderabad, we have 2 DPDOs, one for Hyderabad, one in Secunderabad. I will go. But what about even in Telangana? There are so many districts which are far away, 200 kilometers away from Hyderabad. So he has now come to DPDO Hyderabad or Secunderabad. These centers will provide interface and assistance. I have my own doubts. Next. Now, how is the migration from the present system to the SPARSH will take place? It can't be done overnight. It has to be done by phases. What they have done is, they have taken this date, September 2021. Anybody retiring from September 2021 and thereafter, they will be automatically migrated to the SPARSH. And they say already 558 pensioners drawing from the 4 private banks, that is HDFC, ICICI, Axis, I think one more bank, IDBI. They have been already migrated. So we have to find out from them the experience. Phase 2, all those people who are already being looked after by the DPDOs, they will be migrated to SPARSH. Phase 3, you and I, who are all retired prior to September 2021, they estimate by 31st March 2022, the entire 30 lakh pensioners will be migrated to the new system. I have my own doubts. This I have already mentioned. Next. So, this is all method of migration. Next. This is being done by TCS. So if you got any problem, you can go to TCS on this call numbers and find out your problem. Next. So these are the numbers of MP5B. You can go and contact them. Email address of the MP5B is known as officer.record@gov.in for Omni officers. Next. In future, there will be no soft copy or a hard copy of PPO. Everything is in computer or in your mobile. Simple. Only PPO number is given to you. Profile post of SPARSH gives all the details about you, your family, any other benefits you are getting. Take a printout if required. Next. So the PSAs, as I mentioned to you, they generate the PPOs. Many people have a doubt, sir, a numbering system kya hai? For example, numbering system is 12 digit now. Now, if these 12 digits are given to you, how do you know what is it what? They say 2 is already for pre-2021 September pensioner, like I. So I come under this category. 36, for all army officers, it is MP5B. So whatever is the number given to MP5, this will appear. So all the army officers who retired prior to September 2021, these 3 will be same. These 3 digits will be same. Then this is 2017, I don't have to explain to you, that is your year of retirement. This is your actual pension number, 00123, for example. Now, this is your user, this is your ID. How do you know what is your username? You just add 01 at the end of this. Here you put 01, that is your username. which is required in logging to this SPARSH. I have mentioned to you, post September is all 1, pre-September 2021 are 2. This I mentioned to you. Next. They are saying everything is rosy, but I will tell you, we have analyzed, it is not that easy, it is not that simple. I will come to that little later. Next. They say, you tell me how many of you have been able to ring up the PCD pension Allahabad call center and get a satisfactory reply. Firstly, that the phone is never attended. Even if you attend, that buddy fellow give you some cock and bull story. Next. The CGDA says, no, don't worry, we are all there. 63 BPDOs are there. They will help you. Jilla Signing Board. I have been Director Signing Welfare of Andhra Pradesh when Andhra and Telangana were combined. I know the quality of the service ZSBs and RSB are giving. They are all civilians, know nothing about defense. Call center to receive complaints and redress grievances. Firstly, I can tell you, the call center will not be able to receive your call. That is first problem, because the server is so busy. How will you send your complaint? How will you receive a reply for your grievance? It's all nice on paper, very good. On ground, it may not happen. They hope, they themselves are saying, we hope the problems will be resolved after some time. Banks naturally will not give any service. Why should they give? You have taken away the 960 rupees per pensioner per month, per year. Next. This is what I am saying. We in TSEWA has analyzed the paper projected by CGDA long time back, maybe 2-3 years back. What are the problem areas which the new pensioners in the SPARSH are going to face? Old age widows, this I harped a number of times. Just imagine, I had been to Himachal Pradesh, I have been to Uttarakhand. There people are living in a small hills where 5-6 families are in one hill, another 5-6 families are in another hill, and there is no track. You have to walk down to the nearest bus stop. It will take 1 hour if you are lucky. Sometimes it may take 2 hours. 80-year-old lady, how will she walk 1 kilometer? Then she gets into the bus, then she goes to the nearest town, takes another bus to go to CPPC of the bank, or wherever this so-called SPARSH SEWA Kendras. And you say, oh, everybody has got mobile. But there are many places where there is no electricity, where there are no computers. What this will a lady do? She is uneducated, 80-year-old lady. Think of her. Existing system of calls to PCDs. I have already told you how responsive they are. I leave it to you. PCDs rarely reply. If at all they reply, they don't redress your grievance. Online system. It's all nice to say. Today you keep on hearing cyber attacks, viruses. What will happen? The moment one virus enters into your server, gone. Then people will not get their pension. ZSBs, I told you, they're all state government employees, know nothing about defense. Next. See, in the army, what do? Let us take a typical basketball match. We make a practice. We say, कौन सा टीम है, कौन इंट्रोड्यूस करेगा, गेम कैसा होगा, रेफरी कौन होगा. You have a rehearsal. Here, you just did not do any pilot study, never understood what are the problems which the pensioners are going to face. Don't worry about towns and cities, they will somehow manage. Villages, old people, you have not done it. If you have selected some remote states like Northeast, like Tamil Nadu or J&K, select some old ladies, convert them into SPARSH and see their problems. That would have been much better. Without any prior knowledge, you are just doing everything in one go. Every time it should be done on a pilot basis. Try with 10 people, 15 people, 100 people, then keep on expanding. You haven't done anything. Feedback from such pensioners, you should have obtained. भैया हमने ये कर दिया, क्या आपको सब कुछ ठीक मिल रही है? Nothing. You just do it everything on your own and say SPARSH is damn good. Next. I told you the present system definitely needs a major overhaul because TSEWA has found 80% pensioners don't get their pension. What is the use? They're not getting their correct pension. So what is the use of present system? There is a need. Definitely, I recommend new system is required. But before you introduce a new system, please carry out trials. Then plug all the loopholes. Okay, next. So I said single window concept is much better. There is no doubt about that. You have to foresee what are the problems likely to come. Like I am telling you, think of that old widow, 80-year-old, living in some hill in Uttarakhand or Himachal. How is she going to get her problem resolved? 2 servers should be required in a call center. You have 1 server and that packs off, gone. And how are you going to remit a pension for 30 lakh people? And that you also you say only in 1 day you will be given pension. That is on 31st of the month or 30th of the month. Whereas banks are giving pension with very few pensioners for 4 days. Now you are clubbing all these 4 days into 1 day and you want to give it to 30 lakh pensioners. Is it possible? Just think of it. I said, the banks are doing it in 4 days. You want to do it in 1 day. Is one call center you propose to have is capable of handling the grievances of 30 lakh pensioners? Any system where you have an organization and stakeholders, you will have grievances. There should be a good, time-tested redressal of grievance system. That should be there. That is the most important. If people don't have grievances, the system is working very good. I already told you. You never consult the stakeholders who are the people who are impacted. New system, let us give some time for them. But there should be some provision. They should themselves understand maybe the system is so good on paper, may not be so good in implementation. So we should ensure that by some way the pensioner should get the pension. So either you tell the bank, by any chance we are not able to remit the pension, please give pension to that chap, we will adjust it next month. That kind of understanding you should have with the banks. But now you have deprived 960 rupees of the bank. Bank says, hell with you, why should we do it? You don't give a pension to a pensioner, why should we give to that pensioner when you have taken away 960 rupees? This is going to be the argument of the bank. So you will have problem. Next. I know this is a little long video. Even I am not very clear about the SPARSH system. We in TSEWA have analyzed the central pension dispersal system. We have given our views to whoever matters. But finally the government has taken decision to migrate to SPARSH system. In this video, if you have not followed something, do send a mail or SMS to TSEWA. I will give you TSEWA website. Very simple, www.tsewa.org. Now what is TSEWA? T for Tango, S is for Sierra, E for Echo, W for Whiskey, A for Alpha. TSEWA.org. Oscar Romeo Golf. We will be too happy to receive your clarification and try to give you the answer. Even we are not very clear about SPARSH. Let us try. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Jai Hind.